Today on the FRF podcast, we're going to talk about what do you do when no one else around you wants to work out or eat healthy. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Fire Rescue Athlete Podcast with Aaron Zamzow, talking all things health and fitness for the first responder community.
Hey, everyone, Aaron Zamzow. Fire Rescue Athlete Podcast is a place where I kind of rant on about different things, different topics that are affecting first responders, health and wellness, firefighters, EMTs, medics, nurses. I include in that, doctors. Anyways, today we're going to talk about, this was a question that one of my members of the FRF Nation, if you don't know what that is, please go to firerescuefitness.com or you can find us on Facebook. It's just those people that have followed some of the principles that we talk about within Fire Rescue Fitness, which is proper functional health, recovery, nutrition, and we have tons of programs there for all different levels. But this was a question that was emailed to me, and I've gotten it a couple times. Want to address it, and it's what do you do when no one else? Let's say if you're working out on a crew at the firehouse, or you're at an EMS station, or even if you're a nurse or a doctor, and no one else seems to be wanting to eat healthy. They keep bringing this crap in. They don't talk about fitness. They don't work out. They don't really help to motivate you. And it's a point where you look around and you probably feel like you're the only one. You probably feel like, man, I just feel like I'm on an island. Well, trust me, for somebody that has taught about health and fitness in the fire service for 15 years, you are not alone. I have gone into some firehouses where everyone's like, hey, let's work out today. And I've gone into other firehouses where everything that I eat is judged as far as, oh, you're going to put that in your body. Oh, you're going to do this. Oh, I guess we're going to eat kale today. And I'll tell you what, you got to have a little bit thicker skin. And over the years, I've developed that, because now I'm just like, I look at them, I'm like, yeah, you know, you're miserable. You're, you can't move really well. You're probably angry and mad because you eat really bad. And I kind of am a little bit cocky when it comes to that. But when it comes to everyone else, like I said, this is a common question. It's something that I really wanted to talk about, because you can get defeated. You can feel like, again, you're isolated. So, one of the first things to do, step number one, is stay true to you, right? Don't let them affect you. As far as if you need to start working out, like I remember some of the crews, I had to get in the gym at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, where the lieutenant would look at me and go, hey, go get some rest. And I'm like, no, hey boss, this is important to me. I got to get it in. And eventually what happened was they're like, hey, let's make time for you, because I know that's important for you. And then it stepped into a couple people started to join, and a couple people started to ask more questions, and it really kind of snowballed into a more healthy environment. So the first thing is stay true to what you're doing. Make sure that you plan it out. Now, you might have to get creative. Again, I was at the firehouse sometimes working out at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and it wasn't as high intensity of the workout, but it would keep me on track, and people would see and people would notice that. Some of the things that you could do is switch your workouts around. So if you're at a firehouse or you're working a day where you know that you're not going to get a lot of support, number one, and number two, number time, you might do more of a recovery and stretch, and even just a mental health workout. I know that sounds kind of corny, but if you just take off, go sit in a corner, do some deep breathing exercises, write down a couple things that you're thankful for, it really can help change your mindset and give you energy throughout the day, believe it or not. So by being true to yourself, I think you set the example, and that's really the whole point of this of this particular tip and actual conversation and podcast. Is the first thing you got to do is just, again, stay true to yourself, set the example. Now, you may think nobody's watching, or it's an example that people don't want to be a part of, and I'm urging you to just stay true to it, because take it from somebody that's been doing this for 15 years and felt like I was on an island a lot. Times they are changing, right? There is now more and more data research that confirms that you need, especially as a first responder, to work on your health and fitness. Meaning, you need to do consistent exercise. And there's also a lot of data that says what we've been eating in the firehouses for many, many years actually adds to us getting cancer. It adds to our issues with heart disease, stroke, diabetes. And as departments and people start talking about this more within the fire service, and of course, if you're a nurse, if you're a medic and EMS, all these are holding true because the data does not lie. You're starting to see a lot of the same things within these high stress industries. Sleep can also be brought into that too. But right now, I really want to just focus more on the health and the fitness and nutrition part of it, I should say. And so you set that example, and believe it or not, people are wanting, I think, more than ever before to join. So, but they don't want to join something that's half-assed. So it may take a couple of weeks, couple of months of you just staying true for them to finally say, hey, I want to be a part of this. And worst case scenario, I should say worst case scenario, setting the other side of this too. So the second step is have a conversation. So you stay true to yourself, number one, and set the example. But the second part is have a conversation about fitness, about nutrition. Um, a lot of times people are embarrassed to talk about it because they don't really know where to go. There's so much information out there, that I believe that it inundates us into a situation where we're just paralyzed. Oh, you got to do keto, you got to do high intensity, you got to do CrossFit, you got to do ballet, whatever the new trend is. And I think people just read that and go, holy cow, where the hell do I start? And that's really why I started with FRF was, hey, here is how to you train for what we do. You train for the fire ground, you train for the rescue scene, you train for moving patients, you train for uh, CPR, CCR. Like that actually takes some stamina. And by doing that, training functionally, believe it or not, change, I think, your mood and your attitude, and you become a much better first responder, but not only physically but mentally. But you prolong your career, you improve your performance. So you train well and you start to train right. um, it good things happen. And where I'm going with this is start to have those conversations. What is training right? Why do you like work out every single day? The other thing is that people always think about, oh, you work out because you want to keep your whatever size waist, and that's not necessarily the case. And it shouldn't be for most of us. It should be for stress management. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a more stressful time to live, in the last 50 years. Of course, every generation has their challenges, but it's more in your face now than it ever has been. Um, and hard to get away from just due to social media and all the different avenues that bombard us. That's why I say that, not to say that, world wars and threats of nuclear war and gas shortage, all those things are stressful, but I think it's a continually inundation with us now. And so you have to find ways to manage that stress. One of the ways is just to talk about people that don't, talk to those that, hey, okay, and a common conversation that I have is this, right? Um, if I go out and I do a presentation and I'm traveling and I come back to my crew, when I'm gone, they'll still send, pictures of, hey, it's Molten Burger Day, haha, Zamzow's gone. But when I get back, I just have one-on-one conversations like, how you doing? How you guys feeling? If you're the guy who works out a lot, you'd really be surprised at how many people start going, God, my knees really bother me. Or I tweak my back and I just can't do anything right now other than try to manage to do the job. And those conversations lead to, hey, try this or go to this resource. Or, you could send anybody you want. Hey, send this guy a message. He's a little bit nuts, but he can find a way to help you or find someone that can. But those conversations lead to a thought process in most individuals. Now, there are chances or there are instances where, you're setting the example, you start having conversations with your crew, and those around you, and they just don't bite. What do? The third thing is don't waste your energy. Continually do what you're going to do to improve your health and fitness. I firmly believe that by doing that, you will change not only your environment, but those around you, your culture. You're changing, if they start to see that you're, performing better, looking better, feeling better, acting better, I believe people will get on board with that. And it's very difficult though. Again, you're not alone, because I've been doing this for years, and you look around and people don't want to do it. So stay true to you. Set your example. Set the example, not only for your crew, but you're also going to do it your family, man, your kids, your significant other, and those within your immediate surroundings. You're setting the example for them. And then the second part is have conversations about fitness, have conversations about health, have conversations about the data that comes out. And then try to just ask people one-on-one how they're doing, how you feeling. When's the last time you worked out? Why don't you work out? And then, that third thing is, if you can't change their minds and you can't change their attitudes, then don't waste too much time. This is something that I think we do to a fault in the fire service, especially on a organizational level. I've had a lot of conversations with chiefs. So you go like, hey, how do I get that? There's like 15% that don't really want to do anything. Well, I say work on the 70% that do. And that's how you really change your culture. There's going to be people in every organization and every walk of life that, they're angry about being angry. They're angry about being happy, I should say. So you can't change some people's minds. You can only do what you can do. So I know it's not a magic formula. I know it's probably something that's not, you might be thinking right now, damn, that's just this doesn't really help me. But trust me, it will, as long as you stay true to setting that example and doing it and working on yourself. There's a lot of times where I'll look up and I'll go, God, I could really help this person. And you just want to make sure that they know that you're there and the resources are there. But, everybody has their own time frame, has their own motivation. Fitness is very personal, and sometimes they don't like to do it in front of people because we might feel embarrassed, or because we're not as educated as we come off to be. So, just don't let that get you down. Don't let that stop you. And together, if you ever feel like you're alone, send me a message, because you're not. And so anyways, I hope this kind of gives a little bit of light, but stay true. Keep setting the example. Stay consistent with your fitness. The other part of this is what happens when you don't have a crew that eats really healthy. Ask them. So instead of putting the chicken breast in the chicken parm, just say, can you keep the chicken breast separate, and always have like a salad or something there. And I think that's the best way to start accommodating different, everybody's got different diet plans, it seems, these days. So I try not to mix everything, and I try to just always have a good protein, a good carbohydrate, fruits and vegetables, and, salad always available, so people can kind of pick and choose. And that's one way to accommodate different tastes and flavors. And look, you got to remember that, like, if you carry stuff into the firehouse, you're going to get crap for it, but who cares? You're going to feel better. You're going to eat better. I carry a Coleman with me wherever I go. It has snacks in it usually. And 9 out of 10 times, I don't even use it. But it's there in case, I get that late night craving, or, the crew is going to not eat healthy and it's not a day for me to cheat. So, those are really good suggestions on how to help you stay on track with your nutrition too. All right. So anyways, with that, thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have questions on other stuff. Let me know how I can help you and your crew. And lastly, I just got to tell you right now, we just launched, my dog Tess and I launched the FRF 40-day resiliency challenge. It is the most complete program that I have ever created with FRF. I will try to leave a link in the description. But I really think that this is the most effective program, complete program, and every first responder needs to follow it. So please check out the link, ask for help if you need it. Give me some ideas, give me some feedback. Most importantly, stay consistent and get FRF.
Thanks for listening to the Fire Rescue Athlete Podcast with Aaron Zamzow. Please link and share if you'd like more.